This evening, AG warns of possible seizure of opposition vehicles and other movable properties for unpaid court costs. Ministry of Housing and Water moves to regularize informal settlements in Mocha, Arcadia. US warns citizens about traveling to Guyana due to rampant crime and lack of resources to combat it. In the region, Argentinians spend up as living costs, inflation soars, and internationally, ASPEN Security Forum, artificial intelligence under scrutiny. Welcome to this broadcast of Channel 2's Headline News Update for July 20th, 2023. I am Baby Bacchus. Thank you for joining us. First up, the Attorney General and Minister of Legal Affairs, Anil Nandlal, has instructed lawyers to initiate court proceedings to ensure the payment of millions in court costs owed by the members of the opposition. The monies resulted from several failed court proceedings filed by the opposition. Despite reminder letters, the opposition still needs to pay the costs, leading to the decisions to enforce the judgment. Last month, Attorney General announced that his chambers would be moving to enforce the payment owed by the opposition. He further stated that this may involve seizing movable properties to recover the owed sums. The issue arose following the dismissal of a case challenging the Natural Resource Fund bill, with the applicants ordered to pay $1.2 million in costs. Additionally, 8 opposition members of parliament were suspended for unparliamentary behavior during a debate and were ordered to pay $350,000 each, which remains unpaid. Continuing our coverage of law and order, on Monday, the United States Department of State issued a travel advisory warning its citizens to reconsider traveling to Guyana, despite the country being dubbed the fastest growing economy in the world due to its rich oil resources. The advisory placed Guyana in the Level 3 category, signaling a high crime rate, particularly violent crimes like murder and armed robbery, especially at night. The United States Department also highlighted the lack of resources within the Guyana police force to respond to serious criminal incidents effectively. In response, Guyana's Shadow Minister of Home Affairs, Gita Chandan Edmond, accused the police force of being highly politicized and without a clear crime plan, attributing the travel advisory to the country's dangerous crime situation. Meanwhile, speaking at the opening of the Guyana Police Force Symposium 2023 earlier today, Minister of Home Affairs Rupert Ben called on the Guyana Police Force to take decisive actions against illegalities and disorder in Region 4, which is considered a trendsetter for the rest of the country. He expressed concerns about various issues, including the use of e-bikes, indecent language, and consumption of alcohol and drugs in public areas. Minister Ben also called for sterner measures against noise nuisance, with repeat offenders facing equipment seizures. He emphasized the need to reduce indecent language in civilians and police personnel, setting an example for higher standards. He added that efforts are being made to improve traffic management by deploying 300 community policemen and women. Stick around when we return. Ministry of Housing and Water moves to regularize informal settlements in Mocha, Arcadia. And Guyana's Exercise Trade Winds 2023 test national readiness and simulated oil spill response and logistics workshop.
When you need money and you gotta get it fast, Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop is the place for that confidential transaction in a quiet and secure location. You'll get the highest value per pennyweight for your gold and also enjoy the lowest interest rates and longest payback period too. Yes, for that instant transaction to solve a pressing financial problem. That Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop, 4-6 Boyle Place, that's between the Ministry of Housing on Brick Dam and White Castle Fish Shop, be your first and only choice. Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop, safe and sound, solid and secure, always there for you. Telephone 231-7878 and 223-8955.
Smart Minds Educational Institute, offering preschool, nursery, and primary levels. Finally, a school that is every parent's dream. Located at 69 Crow Street, offering academic excellence, trained qualified teachers, small class sizes, personalized care, and one-to-one attention for your little ones. At Smart Minds, register for full-time or evening classes, daily practice pass exam papers for proficiency at the grade 2, 4, and 6 assessment, and CXE exam preparedness. Or join our Becca Phonics reading and writing program. So if your child is for preschool, nursery, or primary level, come to Smart Mind, located at 69 Cross Street, or call 231-4885 or 600-9229 to enroll now.
Hello, my fellow TikToker followers. He is Credit, and today all we will be making Chinese noodles with peppies, chow mein, chicken fritters, and spice cake. For the noodles, all of these will be using peppies, black pepper, cashew,
Chinese sauce, soy sauce, garlic sauce, paprika, Chinese seasoning, chow mein seasoning, five spice, and all-purpose seasoning.
Next, this chicken that we marinated, soak for all you want to know nothing with peppies, green seasoning, miracle seasoning,
Pepper sauce, chicken seasoning, paprika, garlic powder, jerk seasoning, black pepper, onion powder, and ginger powder, and document plantain flour, and then this butter we make with this quick piece powder, and we
boil in high. We serve with peppies, barbecue sauce. Radhika went to the supermarket and she probably buy up enough things. She feels she alone can cook, but she routine even wrong. He shaped like a Guyana map.
Peppies has a wide range of ingredients available at supermarkets nationwide. Peppies, we put the pep back into your kitchen.
Good girl forget things.
What's the problem, Granny?
I want money for borrow for those surgery. I was dancing and I fall and fracture my hip.
If you need some quick money, you should check Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop, Lot 238 South Road Border, Georgetown. Get jewelry made to order in just 72 hours. We also accept vehicles. Lender's, best rates, longest payback period.
Boys, I get through. Plus, I could dance again.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Welcome back. As part of Exercise Tradewinds 2023, a comprehensive response exercise sponsored by Guyana this year, a simulated oil spill activity was carried out on Tuesday, July 19th in Berbice Region 6. The National Oil Spill Committee, comprised of relevant agencies like the Civil Defense Commission and the Maritime Administration Department, conducted a proactive response to a fictitious incident involving spill fuel in the Berbice River. The exercise aimed to test the enhanced coordination and occupational skills, fostering response cohesion. Additionally, a logistics workshop by the Caribbean Disaster Emergency Management Agency and the World Food Programme executed a 5-day logistics workshop to bolster existing logistics systems for response mechanism, introducing efficient software for response mechanism, further strengthening the nation's capacity for security and disaster response. Exercise Tradewind 2023 continues with various activities to bolster national readiness for potential hazard and disasters. In other news, the Ministry of Housing and Water, through the Central Housing and Planning Authority, is working to regularize an informal settlement located in Mocha, Arcadia on the east bank of the Demerara. On Tuesday afternoon, the Minister of Housing and Water, Colin Crowell, along with the Minister of Public Service, Sonia Parag, met with the residents to address the issue. The land comprises 5 fields and falls under the purview of the Guyana Sugar Corporation. Minister Crowell stated that his ministry would engage Gaisuko to transfer the land. Once this acquisition process is completed, the agency can move forward with the regularization process, granting residents legal land ownership. In November of 2022, CHPA recorded 357 occupied and unoccupied structures in the area. While outlining the regularization plan, the minister stated that the 3 fields which are densely populated will be regularized. Those residing outside of the 3 fields will be moved within the designated alignment. Additionally, several persons who fall within the buffer zone of the 4-lane highway will be relocated further inwards. He emphasized that the government intends not to displace individuals, but to facilitate a structured process. The Housing Ministry is committed to working closely with residents throughout each step. As such, a team from the ministry will continue engaging residents and monitoring the area. The minister urged all persons to work with the agency. He also called upon them to discourage others from squatting in the area, as this would prolong the process. Don't go away after the break. ASPEN Security Forum, Artificial Intelligence under Scrutiny, and US-China to work intensely on climate issues in weeks ahead.
good girl forget things.
What's the problem, Granny?
I want money for borrow for do a surgery. I was dancing and I fall and fracture my hip.
If you need some quick money, you should check Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop, Lot 238 South Road Border, Georgetown. Get jewelry made to order in just 72 hours. We also accept vehicles. Lenders, best rates, longest payback period.
Boys, I get through. Plus, I could dance again.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Hello, my fellow TikToker followers. He is Credit, and today all we will be making Chinese noodles with peppies, chow mein, chicken fritters, and poised cake. For the noodles, all of these will be using peppies, black pepper, cashew,
Chinese sauce, soy sauce, garlic sauce, paprika, Chinese seasoning, chow mein seasoning, five spice, and all-purpose seasoning.
Next, this chicken that we marinated, soaked for all you wanna know nothing, with peppies, green seasoning, miracle seasoning,
Pepper sauce, chicken seasoning, paprika, garlic powder, jerk seasoning, black pepper, onion powder, and ginger powder, and document planting flour, and then this butter we make with this quick piece powder, and we
boil in oil. We serve with peppies, barbecue sauce. Radica went to the supermarket and she proper buy up enough things. She feels she alone can cook, but she routine even wrong. He shaped like a Guyana map.
Peppies has a wide range of ingredients available at supermarkets nationwide. Peppies, we put the pep back into your kitchen.
Smart Minds Educational Institute, offering preschool, nursery, and primary levels. Finally, a school that is every parent's dream. Located at 69 Crow Street, offering academic excellence, trained qualified teachers, small class sizes, personalized care, and one-to-one attention for your little ones. At Smart Minds, register for full-time or evening classes, daily practice pass exam papers for proficiency at the grade 2, 4, and 6 assessment, and CXE exam preparedness. Or join our Becca Phonics reading and writing program. So if your child is for preschool, nursery, or primary level, come to Smart Mind, located at 69 Street, or call 231-4885 or 600-9229 to enroll now.
When you need money and you gotta get it fast, Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop is the place for that confidential transaction in a quiet and secure location. You'll get the highest value per pennyweight for your gold and also enjoy the lowest interest rates and longest payback period too. Yes, for that instant transaction to solve a pressing financial problem. That Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop, 46 Boyle Place, that's between the Ministry of Housing on Brickdam and White Castle Fish Shop, be your first and only choice. Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop, safe and sound, solid and secure, always there for you. Telephone 231-7878 and 223-8955.
Welcome back. Now let's take a look at what's happening in the region and around the world. In Argentina, the soaring costs of living have made life difficult for many people. The nation is facing its worst economic crisis in years, with inflation figures raising above 100%. But some people are spending more than they're saving. Al Jazeera's Teresa Bo reports.
In the social center of Buenos Aires on Saturday night, prices across Argentina are skyrocketing, but here, it does not seem like the country is in economic turmoil. Karina Salvia promotes a theater play on the street. She says there is one reason that explains it all.
People want to go out to have fun. We already have sad news. Price increases every day. If you have a little bit of money, the only thing you want to do is go out.
Argentina is struggling with massive foreign debt, while domestic prices for goods and services continue to rise. Most analysts agree it's a strategy of printing money to finance spending that it's a main reason why most economic measures fail.
For many people in Argentina, living with high inflation means heading to the shops to buy groceries after payday before the prices start going up, or learning to live without certain products. But for others who have some money left over, there is no point in saving, and that's one of the reasons why the restaurants and theaters in the city are full.
Los Galgos is a historic bar in Buenos Aires. It's been open since the 1930s. Julián Díaz bought it a few years ago, He says that in spite of the economic struggles, he continues to believe in the country.
Inflation is the biggest challenge we have because we change prices every month. But if the price goes up alarmingly, we have to get it off the menu. We learn to be creative so we can find ways to make it work.
Diaz owns 4 other restaurants in the capital. But for Argentina's poor, who now represent over 40% of the population, it's a different story. Protests like this one are ongoing in the capital every week. Analysts say latest figures show people have stopped saving.
The capital is an area where the middle class is larger and those people have stopped saving. Savings are going down, but consumption is continuing. In Argentina, a salary is around $500. Even if you make $700, then you go out and you spend it.
Argentina is a country where people have gotten used to living in crisis, and many have become experts on how to outwit economic instability. Although the impact is falling mainly on those with greater economic needs. Teresa Bo, Al Jazeera, Buenos Aires.
Internationally, government officials and technology experts have gathered in the U.S. state of Colorado to discuss the range of threats facing the world. Artificial intelligence is one of their biggest concerns. Al Jazeera's Rob Reynolds reports.
In the scenic beauty of a remote Rocky Mountain town, military, political, business, and tech leaders gathered for the ASPEN Security Forum, where the safety of artificial intelligence is a major issue.
I think we have to stay anchored on this question of safe and effective, and I think we should be clear that we actually don't have tools and methods today to know when an AI model is safe and effective. So
by
that is
definition,
the work
then
to
not
be done.
safe and effective.
We
can't measure
simply
it.
don't know.
Technology experts warn that AI tools already available can be enormously destructive.
Right now, for example, any individual who spends enough time with these tools, or even without knowing computer science, can use these tools to generate fakes of Warren Buffett saying something that he never said, causing a crash in the market, or having President Biden say something that he never said, causing international turmoil.
AI is changing the face of war.
When I talk to the U.S. Defense Department, for example, they're quite worried. They're worried about lethal autonomous weapons.
Also vulnerable to malicious actors using AI, critical infrastructure like the electrical grid.
An intelligent adversary can use these tools to really hone in on the particularly weak link that could then cause a cascade failure or what we call a black swan event.
And for some kinds of malicious AI, it may already be too late.
The techniques used to generate deepfake audio, video, etc., they're out there, the cat's out of the bag.
The message seems to be getting through.
Experts and government officials here are talking about ways to regulate AI, but meanwhile, the technology is becoming more advanced by the minute. Rob Reynolds, Al Jazeera, Aspen, Colorado.
And finally, the world's 2 biggest polluters have agreed to work more closely to reduce greenhouse gas emissions. U.S. Special Climate Envoy John Kerry has been meeting with senior Chinese officials over the past 4 days. He said the universal threat of climate change was more important than political disagreements. Al Jazeera's Katrina Yu has more.
U.S. Climate Envoy John Kerry ended his visit to Beijing, saying the two sides had successfully restarted cooperation and would work intensively in the lead-up to the COP28 conference in Dubai.
We had very frank conversations, but we came here to break new ground, which we think is important at this stage, and it is clear that we are going to need a little more work to be able to complete that task, which we still believe, both of us, is doable.
He said the two sides agreed on the urgency of the climate crisis. Both the US and China are experiencing record-high summer temperatures. Over 4 days, Kerry met with several Chinese leaders, including Vice President Han Dong. Discussed was the boosting of renewable energy and the curbing of coal consumption and non-carbon dioxide emissions.
The
It's necessary for China, the United States, and indeed all countries in the world to strengthen coordination, build consensus, and speed up action.
Kerry said he hoped bilateral tensions would not get in the way of fighting global warming, which should be treated as a standalone issue. Chinese officials described the envoy as an old friend, but said climate change could not be separated from the overall environment of US-China relations. These are the first climate talks held between the two sides since their suspension in August, when former US House Speaker Nancy Pelosi visited Taiwan.
Climate change is one of those few issues where there is an alignment of US and Chinese interests. It sits in the foreground, and in the background we have a whole host of incredibly fraught, incredibly contentious issues.
That contention was felt during a Communist Party environmental conference hosted by President Xi Jinping this week. He said China was committed to its goal of achieving carbon neutrality by 2060, but its path would not be dictated by others. Kerry denied that was what he was trying to do.
There was no dictation here. There was a clear exchange of ideas. If anything is dictating, it is the science.
China has bristled at US criticism of its new coal-fired power projects. State media says China already draws 30% of its energy from renewable sources.
John Kerry's visit ends as the Chinese capital sets a new record for consecutive days of high temperatures. Wednesday is the 28th day above 35 degrees. It's currently 38. The previous record in Beijing was 26 days, and that was set 23 years ago.
The sweltering heat a reminder of the need for the two superpowers to produce real results on climate change. Katrina Yu, Al Jazeera, Beijing.
Fires are raging across Greece.
This brings us to the end of the regional and global news coverage. Up next is the 3-day weather forecast. And that's SafeTV2 Headline News for this Thursday evening. As we take our leave, we invite you to follow us on Facebook and YouTube. You can tune in tomorrow morning at 6:30 for a rebroadcast and at 7 p.m. for more news. Until then, please take care of yourself and each other.